I have with me Gaurav, and we have been talking about how we should do storytelling for startups and generally ideas. Like when, even in the normal conversation, how should we go about saying our rational? How should we go about saying different things? And yeah, Gaurav is with me. He's my friend, and yeah, just wanted to record it, just to make a documentary out of it. Hey Gaurav, how it's going?
Yeah. Hi, Ayush. How's your startup being?
It's nice only. It's nice here, so I think it's nice. So yeah, so I'll probably quickly explain this new principle that I learned. It tells you how should you how should you put your put your arguments while giving a speech, so that the audience is engaged. It's known as pyramid principle. So whenever someone is asking you a question, let's say Gaurav, he's asking about my startup, right? So first I'll start with what I'm doing, crisp line, exactly crisp line what I'm doing. So let's say if I'm building AI models for NPC, so I'll start with that. Ki, hey Gaurav, this is Ayush. I'm founder of Rovix AI, and I'm building AI models that will power the next generation of NPCs for PC games. So in a one line, I told Gaurav how what I'm doing exactly, and
What you're doing.
then I'll add with the supporting argument. So let's say, hey Gaurav, I'm building AI for the next generation of NPC, and here's why I think this is going to be a big thing, and it's going to be very valuable for all the game studios in the world because of so and so and so reasons, right? So you start with a crisp answer, and then you give supporting argument. And why this is like absurdly useful for while pitching your startup is because you don't want to lose the attention of the other investor. The investor is probably hearing not thousands but hundreds of speech, hundreds of pitches, elevator pitches in a day, and they don't have enough time. They have heard it all, right? So you start with a crisp line that grasps his attention, which is in most cases going to be what you do exactly, is going to be the answer of the question that he asked, and then you give supporting argument. And the reason why this is very inintuitive for us as a human, because we don't think in this way. We So when I'm explaining anything, I usually as a human, you would usually start with the supporting arguments first. You will tell the whole story that hey, I was doing this, my uh, and I was speaking with my friend. This thing happened, and we started ideating around it. We built a product, we launched it, we saw these many users, and that gave us conviction to build AI for the next generation of NPCs for mobile game. But while you complete the 90% of your pitch, the investor has already lost attention. He's not interested in speaking to you. And that is true for, like, I feel 90% of the conversation with your girlfriend, with your customers, with your investors, with anyone you feel is important. So this is pyramid principle. You start with the answer and then supporting argument. Gaurav, you have anything
Yeah.
to say?
Cool. Yeah, yeah. So, aren't there any other pitching techniques like the audience can learn you
So
from?
there are only two pitching techniques in the world.
Okay. The
For,
right one and the wrong one.
First one is the bad one, and second one is the one that are used by me.
Pyramid. Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
but we can go into depth. Like before this call, me and Gaurav were discussing that in some places pyramid principles of putting an argument forward might not be the best way to go about it. So let's say Gaurav asked me,
Yeah, so
yeah,
so if we are talking about day-to-day life, okay.
correct.
So suppose I ask you to uh, go and see a movie in theaters,
Correct,
like,
correct, correct.
so how can we use this, and
So
is it
probably,
even useful in that
yeah.
case?
So probably if you were an investor, and so probably if this was to sound like a startup pitch, I would start with, hey Gaurav, yes, I'm free on Sunday, let's go on a movie. No, actually not. It will start with it will start with, hey Gaurav, let's go on a movie because I'm free on Sunday and I already had a pretty tiring week. So I started with a answer that, hey Gaurav, let's go to a movie, and here's why I think it's a good plan, right? But in some cases it could be the wrong way to go about it. Do you have any other examples? Any bad examples?
So like
Let's say you're asking me,
so
how do you look? How do
yeah.
let's say
So
my
how?
girlfriend let's say my imaginary girlfriend is asking me,
Mhm,
um,
mhm.
how is she looking today? I cannot.
So if we are imagining, then let's imagine a boyfriend for you.
Bro, this is going to be on YouTube, so we cannot disclose all the cards. But
Yeah.
haha.
Okay.
So let's say my imaginary girlfriend is asking me how is she
Mm.
looking. So I cannot bluntly say that she's not looking good, and then put the supporting arguments that, hey, this dress doesn't, hey, you're not looking good, and here's why I think that is true. You cannot. I don't think you can go like that. You over there, you have to, I think, put the supporting argument first. You want to make sure that the other person is the same page, while you want to make sure that you and the other person are reaching to the conclusion at the same time, right? Then it will be more intuitive, right? You explain why you think she's not looking beautiful, and then at the end you tell her that, here's why I think you're not looking beautiful.
So, but even if you don't
Hmm.
conclude at the end and
Huh.
conclude just at the beginning, and even then you can tell her, right? Like
Hmm.
the other dress you wore that day, that looked
but
quite pretty on you.
but that is starting with a
Something like that.
that is starting with a supporting argument, right? You're starting with a supporting argument. You're telling that.
No, I can bluntly say her no,
Okay.
and then I can start with supporting arguments.
Fair, fair, fair,
Like,
fair, fair.
hmm,
Then maybe.
but does that go well and with these principles?
No, that does, right? Ki you are telling her bluntly that, no, I think you have looked better, and you were looking better
In
that
the
day.
past.
Yeah, I think you have. I think you looked better yesterday.
Oh, that dress doesn't define you.
Yeah, yeah. We can probably make sure that we answer as soon as possible, but maybe we can mild down the answer. Maybe we can put the answer in a better way. Yeah, that could be it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, she can just get offended with a few 1 2 lines and then slap and go away.
Yeah, I think.
Is it?
I hope that happens very soon. Um,
Yeah, with you.
no, I'm not. I'm not sure if the audio is getting recorded or not, but it should.
Yeah, yeah, cool,
But
cool.
I'm pretty sure my audio is getting recorded, but I'm not sure if your
Yeah,
audio is getting recorded.
yeah, it's you who are speaking 90% of the time.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm going to put it anyway. So
Ah, no.
yeah,
Take my consent first.
so there's, I mean, so we were also, so while discussing about this, I think this video is already probably very long, but Christopher Nolan, he also has a similar strategy. I mean, not a similar strategy, but his storytelling in cinematography, in cinema, also comes up with the same theory or rationale, that how we think as a human may not be the best way to put the idea forward. What I mean by that, Christopher Nolan is inspired heavily from Tarantino. He watched Tarantino while growing up. He was already in his mid 20s, but he started pretty late. So he watched him while growing up. He watched Pulp Fiction. He watched Reservoir Dog, and these movies do not follow a chronological order. They do not start a story with a setup, and which ends in the conclusion. The story start with a conclusion, and it sets it up at the end, right? Reservoir Dog, Pulp Fiction, they all have messed up chronological order, right? And Christopher Nolan, being inspired from Tarantino, also thought, like, when we talk as a human, we don't talk in chronological order. So why should the movies be in chronological order? They can also be in random order, right? So that's how he go about it. That's how he went about Inception. I haven't seen Odyssey till now, but I'm pretty sure there's are elements of it in that too. But he writes the story in a chronological order, then he breaks the story in bits and pieces, and then the rearrange he rearranges those bits and pieces to make the story seem more wackier, to make the story seem more smart, right? So, I mean, it
Mm.
doesn't directly concludes the pyramid principle, but it definitely concludes one thing, that the way human naturally think might not be the best way to put an idea forward, so that the in order to retain like billions of people to your service, it might not be the best way to go about it. So yeah, storytelling is very important. I learned it hard way. I've been doing startups I've been trying to do startup. It still hasn't happened yet, but yeah, I learned it hard way that storytelling is really really important, and I'm trying to put in effort in order to solve it. Anything else, Gaurav, before we wrap this up? I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not.
Finally, I got the chance to
I'm
speak.
not sure even
Thank you,
if
Ayush.
I'm not sure if your audio is going to be audible, but yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. It doesn't matter if I am